Hello, children. Let us start a new chapter, that is classification of animals. First of all, let us go through the characteristics of animals. What are the general characteristics of animals? First is they are multicellular organisms, means they are made up of more than one cell. They lack a cell wall. Cell wall, we can see cell wall only in plant cell. Have a well defined nucleus. They are heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means what? They can not prepare their own food. They are dependent upon others for their food. And the last one, they can locomote. Means they move from one place to another in the search of food. Now, on the basis, on the presence and absence of backbone, animals are divided into two groups, broadly divided into two groups. First are vertebrates and second are invertebrates. Vertebrates, the organisms which have backbone, are named as vertebrates, and the organisms which do not contain a backbone comes under invertebrates. Now we'll be studying about invertebrates and vertebrates one by one in this chapter. Let us start with phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera comes under invertebrate. So Porifera, first of all, is derived from the word pores. Means the organisms which are present here, they contain pores in their body, and that is why they are named as sponges. If you can see the structure present here, these are a type of porifera which contains pores throughout their body. These organisms, they are marine habitat, sometimes found in fresh water too. They are attached to the bottom of the sea, means they do not move from one place to another. They do not have a mouth, but they have a large cavity, central cavity. They do not have a mouth, but they take water, food and oxygen through their pores, the holes which are present throughout their body. They have a large central cavity from where the water is released. So, water is released through this central cavity. So, this is the characteristics. These are the characteristics of Porifera. Then coming to the next phylum, phylum Coelenterata, or we can call it as Cnidarians. Through by reading um, these characteristics, we'll come to know that why Coelenterata name is given to this animal and Cnidarians is called to these animals. First of all, these are radial symmetry. Radial symmetry means they can have a plane of symmetry at any side, means at any plane they can be um, cut down into two equal halves. Mostly they are marine habitat. Only one opening, they have only one opening, that is mouth, which are surrounded by tentacles. Now if you can see here, the mouth contains a thread like structure, finger like structure, and these mouth, they are surrounded by tentacles. Tentacles have stinging cells which are named as cnidoblast. Hence, they are named as cnidarians. So, these tentacles, by the help of these tentacles, they catch prey, and also they can locomote, means they move from one place to another by the help of tentacles. So, these tentacles also help to catch their prey. So, the tentacles, they contain stinging cells, and the name of the stinging cells are cnidoblasts. So that is why they have got the name Cnidarians. Why they have got the name Coelenterata? They have a cylindrical shape, cavity inside their body. And this, the cavity in biological term, we call it as coelom. That is why they have got the name Coelenterata. Now we'll be talking about phylum Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes, we also call them as flatworm. If you see the structure of this organism, that is dorsoventrally flat. They are flat, thin and long. They are unsegmented. They do not have ring-like structures throughout their body. They are found in fresh water and are animal parasites. Animal parasites means what? They can live inside the animal and can feed on the food which the animals have. So they are animal parasites. They extract the food from the animal. Only one opening. These organisms, they have only one opening, that is mouth, and sometimes mouth are surrounded by suckers. So if you can see the structure of this organism, this is mostly named as tapeworm. If you see the mouth structure of this organism, you can see hook-like structures are present, and these are known as suckers at the mouth region. They are also known as flatworm. So as they have one opening, they take food through that opening and throw the waste material from the same opening. Okay. Then coming to the next worm, that is Nemathelminthes, or we can also call them as nematoda. Nemathelminthes are also known as roundworms because they are cylindrical in shape. They are long and they are unsegmented. They can both live outside the body as well as they can act as parasite. They have two openings, mouth and anus, and they are unsegmented. Unsegmented, we cannot find the ring-like structures on the surface of the animal. So that is why we can consider these type of animals as unsegmented. So these are the characteristics of Nemathelminthes. Now coming to phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida is another type of worm which are found in moist soil and water. They are segmented. Segmented means what? If I zoom out this picture, you'll find that there are certain rings present. This is an earthworm. So there are certain rings present on the surface of this animal. So that means this animal is segmented, and the other two worms which we studied, those were unsegmented, means no rings were present. Two openings are there, mouth and anus. Mouth to take in the food and anus to throw the waste material. There is a type of special excretory system which is named as nephridia, which is present in this animal, and they feed on dead and decaying substances. So till now we studied about three worms, type of animal which is named as Coelenterata, containing tentacles, and Porifera. So in our next video, we'll be studying about other organisms.